The information and other content provided on this radio show or in any linked materials is provided for informational purposes only, not intended and should not be construed as medical advice. It is not a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment.
I am here. A little late, but I am here. Phew, we made it. A little technical difficulties today. That's what happened. So we are late for our radio feed. Do you ever have one of those days? It was actually a great day, great morning for me today. I had a number of consultations this morning, and it's just great to hear from you personally and to work and interact with you personally. We're just really getting down to the root of what everybody needs. And so super exciting. I love it. But also, I was a little like, oh my gosh, I probably overbooked today. Let me just say that I probably overbooked today. Anyway, I'm here now, and I'm glad you're here. Because thank you for tuning in to Naturally Inspired Radio, where we expose what's broken in the healthcare system. We connect you to real health solutions and inspire you to take back control of your life. We want you to feel empowered, informed, and free to live naturally without fear, confusion, or dependency. That is what we are doing here at Naturally Inspired. I'm going to get right into the top topic today because it happened yesterday and you've probably already seen it, but we have to have a discussion about this. And that is, of course, the fact that Trump signed a executive order yesterday about gain of function research. And again, here I am, thinking, why isn't anybody responding to this appropriately? Like, everybody is stuck in trauma response. You literally say, I just saw an alien in the field. Oh, did you? Cool. like the stuff that's happening and the reaction or the response to it is, it doesn't align, And that only leads me to understand that most of us are still kind of stuck in this trauma response. Like, we're not allowed to respond, right? We're not really allowed to respond because remember, a year ago or 2 years ago when you would get thrown off of social media for talking about such things, where you would get shamed, where you would get told that you're wearing a tinfoil hat, you don't know what you're talking about, you're an idiot, blah, 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 all that stuff. Remember that? So I think maybe a lot of people are stuck in trauma response. So when they hear these admissions and we talk about them, it's almost like we don't know what to do. Oh, it was gain of function research. Oh, look over your shoulder. I don't know. I'm not playing by those rules. I told you. I told you it was gain of function research. I said, we all said it. We knew it. We have to start responding properly now. So here's a clip I want to share with you. And this is from the executive order signing. Bobby Kennedy's in the Oval with Trump. But just listen to the language here because I think it's really important. So here it is. Trump's executive order, gain of function. Here it is.
We'll tell the speaker. We have a number of executive orders for your attention today, sir. The first relates to gain of function research. Gain of function research is a type of biomedical research where pathogens are adulterated, viruses are adulterated to make them more potent or to change the way that they function. Many people believe that gain of function research was one of the key causes of the COVID pandemic that struck us in the last decade. What this executive order does, first of all, it provides powerful new tools to enforce the ban on federal funding for gain of function research abroad. It also strengthens other oversight mechanisms related to that issue and creates an overarching strategy to ensure that biomedical research in general is being conducted safely and in a way that ultimately protects human health more.
It's a big deal. Could have been that we wouldn't have had the problem we had.
A lot of people say that, sir.
If we had this done earlier. Thank you.
Wouldn't have had the problem we had earlier if we had this done. If we had done this, right? Wouldn't have had the problem. What problem is he talking about? Well, he's talking about COVID, right? He's talking about COVID. So many people believe that this is, what happened. Who's many people? We're many people. You and me, we're many people. And we knew it. It's just interesting because there's a whole document, right? The whole lab leak document that outlines what happened with COVID. It's right there on the White House website now. It's like right there. It goes through all the things. And although things are being done behind the scenes to kind of protect people from this happening again in our country, it feels like we're being shielded from the response that we so rightfully are entitled to. Like, I can't tell you how this plays out in my mind. It's like, this is like the typical textbook kind of abusive relationship where we know you've done something wrong, but we're kind of afraid to call you out on what you've done wrong. And so we just kind of sweep it under the rug. And it's just fascinating because we knew during the time that it was a lab leak. We knew masks were bogus. We knew they were lying to us about the origins. We knew they were lying to us about a lot of things. But we weren't allowed to talk about it, right? Because if we stepped outside of that, there were huge consequences. So we acted like good little abusees. Well, some of us did. Some of us didn't. And we got those consequences. But now it's all coming out, and it's almost like they don't want to deal with the fallout. So, mainstream media is not picking it up, really. And if they are, they're spinning it into their own web of deceit, continuing to do that. But it's shocking, right? It's shocking that this stuff is all being exposed. So a couple key words here too. They said biomedical research. Is it biomedical research or is it bioweaponry? You know what I'm saying? And I tend to lean towards the side of it's bioweaponry. Why are we doing biomedical research on viruses like that if it's not because we want to weaponize them? I always go back to that one leaked video, there was two things that tipped me off to this. There was one leaked video of Bobby Kennedy at a dinner party where he says, listen, bioweaponry is real pretty much, and they can take your genetics and alter bioweaponry to take out a very specific demographic. So it can be, gain of function research works on this stuff. So say, we wanted to take all the people with brown hair out. If you're a brunette, today's not your day, right? So they could genetically alter, and of course, this is a hypothetical, silly type of scenario here, but I'm trying to get you to understand what they can do now with this biotechnology, this biomedical research. They can weaponize your genetics against you. So Bobby Kennedy was at a dinner party, and I've played the clip on here, I think, several times. where he says, listen to this whole table. Listen, like this bioweaponry can be altered to take out a certain demographic of people. Of course, everybody, oh, you're a racist, this and that. Like, I don't even understand how they get from a statement to racism nowadays, but man, they'll find a path. And that's exactly what they did with that interaction. And everybody seemed to miss the point. Well, not everybody, likely not you guys. But a lot of people seem to miss the point of what he was trying to say, which was our genetics can be weaponized against us. Very, very targeted. And so that's what they mean when they're talking about biomedical research. They're talking about bioweaponry. And so this executive order, it does a couple things. First of all, it's stopping, right? It's trying to put a stop to that gain of function research, but it also is telling the public, hello, this is what happened. This is what happened. Many people believe. Don't think we would have had this situation if we had something in place that restricted bioweaponry, gain of function research. So it's both like an admission and also a prevention. But again, we're not really getting the response from the public that we need to be getting, which is like, again, a toxic, abusive type of relationship, right? Because everyone should have a road to redemption, I think. But not without acknowledgement. So will we get some acknowledgement a little later down the road? I think so. I mean, I don't know, but I think we're headed in that direction. I just think the wheels of justice are so slow. And if you're like me, you just want it done now, right? Like, when are they going to jail? When are they going to jail? Because I mean, we haven't even realized the full impact of COVID, and we won't probably for another decade or so, because we don't know all of the health consequences that came from locking people down. We don't know who died from being locked down. We don't know, in terms of numbers, we don't know the full impact of it yet. We don't know about, the kid that dropped out of school because of COVID and never went back. We don't know about, the injuries, all of the adverse reactions from the injections that people felt forced to take. We only know the acute fallout from that. We don't know if that's going to impair people's infertility or, God forbid, if it's going to impact their offspring. There's a lot of things we don't know yet and won't realize until we live through them. But one thing we definitely need is acknowledgement of this, because I don't think any sort of trust can be repaired from the medical system without this acknowledgement. I don't think that any sort of trust in our political political infrastructure, our government, I don't think that can be repaired until everything is transparent, right? And that the majority of people, and we're always going to have a fringe group of people who will refuse to believe anything that doesn't go along with their storyline, right? They're committed to that storyline. We've talked about that here before too. Some people aren't capable of processing the truth, and so they have to stay in their storyline, in their fantasy of truth, because they simply cannot, they're not capable of processing the truth, because if they process the truth, then they have to go, oh my gosh, like, what do I do now? Because this infrastructure that I thought was taking care of me isn't taking care of me. And I don't know how to take care of myself. And I don't know where else to go. I need answers. I need people to tell me what to do. So literally, they cannot comprehend the truth right? That these agencies, health agencies specifically, may not have my best interest in mind. And I can't just follow the narrative here on mainstream TV and get by each and every day because it's actually a lie. So we're dealing with that. But we also have to protect our own interests, which is like, we knew it. We knew it. And we deserve to be affirmed. You know, we deserve apologies. We deserve apologies. We deserve apologies. And I think we have to, I don't know where they're taking us with all of this, you know, with these revelations as they pour them out, like, oh yeah, this was gain of function. By the way, you know, when's the mask stuff coming? I mean, Trump has made comments. You know, I think there was somebody in the Oval recently wearing a mask, and he kind of chuckled and said, oh, you like wearing that mask, huh? Right? But it's a delicate situation. You're dealing with people who may be vulnerable. Like I said, they can't come to realize the truth. But at the same time, you have people like us who, like, we deserve an apology. We all do. We knew what was going on. People, it was a nasty time, a nasty paradigm where friend turned on friend, you know, and family turned on family. And we really, truly found out who people were. And if we're going to get back to a place of unity, then there has to be acknowledgement, and there has to be an apology. I saw recently on Twitter, one of my favorites, Dr. Mary Bowden, who I just love her and her work. She posted publicly that her and her best friend had, you know, become a little strained because her best friend believed in the shots and believed in what was going on with COVID, and Mary didn't. And best friend for many, many years. And her friend recently, and she shared this on her Twitter, texted her and said, I'm sorry, you were right. You were right about the shots. And I was so happy for her. I was so happy for her that she got that apology so that they could kind of start on the road of rebuilding their relationship again. But we need that as a country, you know? We need it from our friends and family, a respectful acknowledgement, you know, I was wrong, you know, I didn't see your point of view maybe. Like it doesn't have to be a big dramatic thing, just some acknowledgement so that we can move forward and say, yeah, you know, this we were right. And let's move forward on this road to redemption together. So I hope that, you know, this administration, especially Bobby Kennedy, I think is in a great position to facilitate that. If you've ever, you know, listened to him or done any research on him, one of his most impactful things that I felt really got me to understand his personality a little bit better, where he was coming from, was honestly from an obituary he wrote. He wrote an obituary for his niece. And the way he outlined her life, you know, she was using drugs. It was compassionate, but it was knowledgeable. And his philosophy around forgiveness and life, it's like that is a person that could lead us back to unity 100%. So I hope we get that. We shall see. I'm so glad you're here today. I'm sorry I was late. Stay tuned. This is Naturally Inspired Radio. I'm Tammy Cuthbert Garcia, and we'll be right back.
Have you heard about the powerful health benefits of medicinal mushrooms? Take our preferred medicinal mushrooms for immune support, gut health, antioxidant properties, stress and sleep, heart health, liver protection, blood sugar regulation, cholesterol reduction, anti-cancer properties, cognitive health, mood and mental health, heart health, antibacterial and antiviral, and so much more. Available in easy-to-take capsules great tasting gummies, and our special coffee blends.
Since adding these mushrooms to my daily routine, my cholesterol levels have improved, and I feel more confident about my heart health.
Taking one of these blends before bed has been a game changer. I fall asleep faster and I wake up feeling truly refreshed.
Learn how to get free shipping and how to join our monthly mushroom call. Text Tammy with questions or to order 720-303-8868. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com/mushroom.
Are you ready to take your health to the next level? Join us for the 2025 Naturally Inspired Health Summit, the #1 rated health event in Colorado. Saturday, June 28th, 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. Sunday, June 29th, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. 18 powerhouse speakers, 55 business booths, 25 breakout sessions, Sunday's farmers market with 20 vendors, Saturday evening networking and dance party.
The Naturally Inspired Health Summit was life-changing. The energy, the speakers, and the connections I made were incredible. I left with real, actionable solutions for my health and business.
This event was exactly what I needed. So many inspiring speakers like Dr. Peter McCullough, Dr. Lee Merritt, Dr. Carrie Made, and so many more. Amazing products and a community that truly cares about real health solutions.
High energy, positive community, real solutions for health. Get your tickets now. Want to participate and show your message? Visit naturallyinspiredhealthsummit.com or text 720-764-7448.
Are you ready to stay informed and inspired 24/7? Tune in to Naturally Inspired Radio anytime, anywhere. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com, or for the best mobile experience, download the Simple Radio app. Search for Naturally Inspired Radio, save it to your favorites, and click on the graphic to listen instantly. Catch live broadcasts, revisit past shows, dive into long-form podcast conversations, and discover rare, censored presentations by leading health experts. Plus, explore documentaries uncovering the hidden truths of occult and esoteric history. Stay connected, stay inspired. Naturally Inspired Radio is always at your fingertips. Tune in now. For health questions or comments, text Tammy directly at 720-303-8868. naturallyinspiredradio.com.
If you love watching Naturally Inspired Radio, listening to Naturally Inspired Radio, you can watch the latest show anytime. So if you tuned in late or if you gave up and said, maybe she's not doing a show today, but you're watching this on the replay, this is where you plug in. So go to Rumble and type in Naturally Inspired Radio 24/7. It streams live on Rumble as soon as the show ends, around the clock. You can catch our latest episode featuring real health talk you will not hear anywhere else. I don't know who else is talking like this. I don't know. Maybe somebody. But you want to get it here. You want to get it with Naturally Inspired. So just search Naturally Inspired Radio 24/7 on Rumble and tune in today. When you get there, though, if you would, please remember to subscribe, because we're getting thousands of views on the show, and we're not getting that many subscribers. And I think it's just because, you forget, right? So I'm just here to remind you, please hit the subscribe button, because that helps us connect more people to real solutions for health and ultimately change the medical model, which is exactly what we're trying to do here, to get people plugged into real solutions and out of the medical mafia model. Okay, so I'm no Ian Carroll. You know who Ian Carroll is? He is, this fantastic researcher. He's got like 1 million followers, and he breaks things down. He finds these conspiracies and he breaks them all down. So great content. I'm no Ian Carroll for sure, but it's interesting because I've been saying the same thing that Ian Carroll says, and I've been saying it so long. And I'm glad he does these breakdowns because they're fantastic. So I want to share this clip with you. It's exactly what we've been talking about for week after week after week. And it is the fact that it's pay to play, right? That these corporations are actually monopolies, right? They project the illusion of multiple companies when in fact it's all one big giant monopoly. So let's watch the clip and we'll talk about it after. This is Ian Carroll breaking down the monopoly of corporations. Here
What if I told you that all corporations are actually just one giant mega corporation? And I'm not talking about metaphorically. And I'm not talking about BlackRock. I'm talking about what's really behind BlackRock. See, we hit 1 million followers on TikTok this week, and I've been waiting to post this video since the very first video that I made, laying the groundwork of understanding so that we're all gonna understand this now that we're here. So let's break it down real simple. If you're gonna go grocery shopping at a corporate grocery store, all of these corporations are owned by these institutions. They're highlighted in red if they're on all 4 of these sheets. They're darker orange if they're on 3 of them, and light orange if they're on 2. And there's only a couple that only appear once. It's mostly the same money. But we go deeper. If you go for the biggest tech companies, it's basically the exact same list for all 4 of these. That would be Vanguard, BlackRock, State Street, Fidelity, T. Rowe Price, Geode, which is similar to Fidelity Associated, JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley. And then Northern Trust is on 3 of them, and Capital World Investors is the exact same thing as Capital Research and Management Company. So you might think, okay, these are the institutions that own the whole stock market. But who owns them? And see, if you've been around here for a minute, you already know. They all own each other. Just a giant cross ownership pool.
It's a giant cross ownership pool. So when you start thinking about the administration that just came in, right? And you think, they're not doing this fast enough. They're not making changes here fast enough. They're not doing this. They're not doing that. Like this ball of deceit, this monopoly is going to have to be peeled apart, right? It's going to have to be strategy because it is so intertwined. Can you imagine if, they just blew it apart in terms of our food supply? Right? I mean, we have to do this with strategy, and we have to support the solution. And the solution is buying local, right? Buying as local as we possibly can, supporting our small producers so that we show that this is the marketplace now. This is what we want. We want small producers. We want people who are producing quality. It's no longer about cheap and quality. It's now about, cheap and quantity. It's now about quality. And we want to support our community. These are the messages that we have to signal to the marketplace. How do you signal to the marketplace? You put your money there. That's how you signal. You say, I see you. I see what you guys are after here. I see that you have, made our entire food supply toxic, pretty much. You have not cared about us at all. You have made it about the bottom dollar. You have made it about the stock market. You have made it about control. You have made it about anything but, quite honestly, our health. And so it can't go away overnight, because if it went away overnight, we'd be in a lot of trouble. But it's a gradual, just like we didn't get here overnight. We didn't get to this position overnight. Small companies sold to bigger companies made it a mission to gobble up as many little companies they possibly could so that they could dominate. And then these huge, BlackRock's, Vanguard, State Streets, they started working together. And do you see now how this infrastructure of companies is mirrored over here at the World Economic Forum, right? All these same cast of characters who are all intermingled in these massive corporations. Then they have this little think tank over here called the World Economic Forum, and a lot of others, Club of Rome. I mean, there's a lot. They have a lot of little groups. Let me tell you, they like their groups. And they're always thinking and organizing for the betterment of the corporation. And they're all involved in it. And they're all winning off it. And they're all, building their empires, their legacies off of it. And so the last thing they want is for, 7 billion people to wake up to this, right? Because if 7 billion people wake up to this and they go, oh, we don't actually know the best solutions. We don't actually know what we should be doing because we've just been blindly following the corporation this whole time because that's what we thought we thought it was all on the up and up. But it's not, right? It's become this monopoly that's just moving people into its machine and gobbling them up through food, through medicine, through politics, whatever the mechanism they're using to keep the machine rolling. Now, there's somebody from the outside that comes in, like, I don't know, it seems like Trump, that came in and was like, I want to do this a different way. I'm not maybe fully involved. I'm sure he's involved in those companies because at this point, it literally is one big, huge company. But he has enough of independence on his own, like with the Trump companies or whatever, and maybe his love for country. I'm not really sure all of his motivations, but he's going, yeah, that's gonna take over here. And he's protecting, something else, whether it's the country, American people, Trump enterprises, whatever it is. He's a problem. He's a problem to this monopoly. And it seems like Bobby Kennedy's also a problem to this monopoly. And so that's where you see the clash. And that's when you start to understand how and why we experienced COVID. This thing was a real threat, whatever it is. And I don't know who's all, on that side of the Trump side and everything. I'm sure there's a whole cast of characters that are working on this side as well. And we're in the middle. We're in the middle. We're being shifted here and there and wherever we possibly can through the shaping of culture. And that includes media, right? News, any and all information that is deliberately released, ad campaigns like climate change. That's a perfect example. Climate change is a mechanism that the World Economic Forum is using. The World Economic Forum is a think tank. It's a mechanism of organization to be able to facilitate the growth of these intertwined monopoly of corporations. I know it's tough to realize that that's where we're at, but that is where we're at. And we do have a ton of power in this little paradigm. It matters. Where you spend your money matters. How you think matters. How you act matters. You're watching Naturally Inspired Radio. Stay tuned. We got to go to break. We'll be right back.
Are you ready to take your health to the next level? Join us for the 2025 Naturally Inspired Health Summit, the #1 rated health event in Colorado. Saturday, June 28th, 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. Sunday, June 29th, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. 18 powerhouse speakers, 55 business booths, 25 breakout sessions. Sunday's farmers market with 20 vendors, Saturday evening networking and dance party.
The Naturally Inspired Health Summit was life-changing. The energy, the speakers, and the connections I made were incredible. I left with real, actionable solutions for my health and business.
This event was exactly what I needed. So many inspiring speakers like Dr. Peter McCullough, Dr. Lee Merritt, Dr. Carrie Made, and so many more. Amazing products and a community that truly cares about real health solutions.
High energy, positive community, real solutions for health. Get your tickets now. Want to participate and show your message? Visit naturallyinspiredhealthsummit.com or text 720-764-7448.
Did you know that medicinal mushrooms are excellent for pets? Take our preferred pet health products for joint health, skin health, antioxidant protection, sow health, anti-aging benefits, gut health, liver support, cholesterol regulation, blood pressure support, brain health, anxiety relief, respiratory health, endurance and strength, anti-fatigue, and much more. available in easy-to-take treats, great-tasting gravy, and our pet food blends.
Since adding mushroom dog food to my dog's diet, I've noticed a huge improvement in his energy and coat health. He's like a puppy again, even at 10 years old.
After starting my care on mushroom super sauce, her immune health and digestion have noticeably improved. She's more playful, and her fur has never looked shinier.
Learn how to get free shipping and how to join our monthly mushroom call. Text Tammy with questions or to order at 720-303-8868. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com/mushroom. That's naturallyinspiredradio.com/mushroom.
Are you ready to stay informed and inspired 24/7? Tune in to Naturally Inspired Radio anytime, anywhere. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com, or for the best mobile experience, download the Simple Radio app. Search for Naturally Inspired Radio, save it to your favorites, and click on the graphic to listen instantly. Catch live broadcasts, revisit past shows, dive into long-form podcast conversations, and discover rare, censored presentations by leading health experts. Plus, explore documentaries uncovering the hidden truths of occult and esoteric history. Stay connected, stay inspired. Naturally Inspired Radio is always at your fingertips. Tune in now. For health questions or comments, text Tammy directly at 720-303-8868. naturallyinspiredradio.com.
I want to invite you to tonight's wellness workshop. Come work with me. What do I do? What do I do? Well, I want to make it so clear. I've really been working on clarity and how I can serve you best. And so there's a number of ways I can help. First, you can become a customer of Naturally Inspired. That means you buy the stuff that you're already buying from Naturally Inspired. So you buy your vitamins from us, you buy your non-toxic household cleaners, products, laundry detergent, all of that stuff. You know, all the stuff that you are already buying, your skincare, you want to get it non-toxic, get it from Naturally Inspired. That's the first way. And when you become a customer of Naturally Inspired, you automatically gain access to the weekly wellness workshop. And that's tonight. So we've been going through transition. As you know, we transitioned our product line to a different company. We didn't choose to do that, but we had to do that. And I'm so glad we did. Like when it first happened, I was like, oh no. And now I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so awesome. I'm so glad this happened because it's so much better. And it's just working wonderfully. So that's the first way you can support Naturally Inspired. And I'm going to help you. So, you know, most people text me because someone they love is hurting, or someone they know has a health issue, or they themselves have a health issue, and they don't know what to do about it. They've been to all the doctors, they've spent all the money, and they didn't get any answers, and they don't know what to do about it. This is where I come in. I help you figure it out. This is what I do. I help you figure it out, because ultimately it's the old adage, right? If you teach somebody how to fish, they can fish for themselves. If you give them a fish, they eat for a day, right? And then they got to come back. So when you become a customer, you attend the wellness workshops, you are going to get equipped with a skill set on how to achieve your optimum health. And then you can help your friends and you can help your family members. That's exponential, right? That's how we change a medical model. So that's why I've designed it the way I have. So you can work with me that way. Become a customer, get on the weekly wellness workshops, okay? Second way is you can book one-on-one sessions with me. I'm fine with that. If you need a little bit more, one-on-one going through something, book a session with me. You can do that straight from the website. Or, if you just want to do an assessment, I have free 30-minute assessments right now, and you can book one and we'll sit down together for 30 minutes. We'll do a little assessment, and then I can put together a plan for you that you can follow on your own. It's like a 30-day plan to get you up and running and on your own. So 3 different ways that you can work with me. The first one is the best value. I mean, to me, you'd be crazy not to do that because you're buying all this stuff anyway. And you want non-toxic products. If you're a watcher of this show, you want them, right? You want to switch it over. So then get the added benefit of working with me, where I help you figure it out once a week. So those are the ways that you can work with me. Go to naturallyinspiredstore.com if you're interested in doing the assessment on your own. You can find it right there. Get your score and we can connect. Join me tonight. You can text me. So Jason's put it in the chat there, 720-303-8868. And I'll text you the Zoom link. It's 7:00 Mountain Time tonight. I have it open for everybody. So you don't have to be a customer tonight. But you're going to want to become a customer because I'm still onboarding a whole pile of customers that are switching over. So I want to make sure everybody has access to it tonight. 720-303-8868. But that won't be forever. At some point, you're going to have to become a customer, or you're going to have to work with me one-on-one or whatever in order to get my help. That's the way you have to do it. So many people reaching out, and I'm so excited because this is real change, a real opportunity for change. All right, let's get into the naturally inspired moment before we run out of time here. This is very, very important. Might even have to continue it on into the next hour, I think, because this is such an important topic. Are you ready for this? This is very important. So yesterday, I think it was, we were talking about childhood. We were talking about programming that comes from childhood. Yes, maybe we've healed our wounds from childhood and, that's not bothering me anymore because I've already healed. I've forgiven. I've done that work. But have you paid attention to your childhood programming, your thought processes because of your childhood? Because this is very important. This is why you respond the way you do. This is why you show up the way you do. This is why you are who you are. Okay, so it's very, very important. I want you to consider this statement. You teach people how to treat you. You are teaching people how to treat you as you move through the world every single day. This is how you teach people. If you learned from childhood, right, that you are the helper, because at some point, this is often the case with the firstborn child. If you're the helper, that's your role in the family unit. You help mom, you help dad, you're the helper, and you get a payoff for helping, right? Oh, you're such a good helper. So then you start to learn, oh, okay, I get reward for being the helper. So it reinforces that role that you play in the family. Now, not everybody's the helper. Some people are the leader, right? Oh, look at you, you're leading, you're such a great leader. That's reaffirming, oh, I'm a leader. And so the conditioning begins in childhood. Some people are the comic, right? Oh, he's so crazy. He's always making us laugh. He's just having a good time all the time. As I'm talking about these people, I'm sure certain people are coming into mind as you think about this. So there's the artist, there's the supporter, the cheerleader, all of these roles that we play, they kind of become our identity. And we teach people how to treat us accordingly. So, if you're having a meeting or whatever, there'll be 50 people there, and there'll maybe be 3 or 4 that take notice and come over and say, hey, can I help you put the chairs away? Hey, can I help you put the tables away? How can I help? Well, what's their role? Their role is the helper, right? So that's how you're teaching people how to treat you. Now, there's verbal cues, right? You can speak, and this teaches people how to treat you. Something that comes into mind for me is, there's certain topics that I just find are pretty private. I'm not one that is like, I don't know. Like, I don't like talking about sex a lot. Okay, I'll just tell you. I just think that's a very intimate topic. And there are some women that love to share and laugh and, talk about that stuff, but that's just not me. I've never been that way. And that's just not who I am. And so if someone tries to speak to me like that, I get pretty uncomfortable. And I'm telling them, they pick up on the verbal cues when I say, and my nonverbal cues when I say, oh yeah, I don't like, I whatever. I just kind of avoid it, right? And so that I'm cueing them. Oh, we're not going to have this conversation with her again, right? And you know what I'm talking about. If the women are listening to this, they're like, oh yeah, I got this one friend who's like super raunchy. She'll just like tell me everything, every gory detail. Like, I hate that. I just don't like that. And there are some women that are totally fine with that. And that's fine. I'm not judging. It's just, this is who I am, right? But by expressing that, you're teaching people who you are. You're setting out your boundaries, right? And there are nonverbal cues as well. So what you wear, right? The other day, Jason and I went into a printing place, and we were pretty grubby. I mean, we had just worked out, and sometimes around the farm. Have you ever heard the term farm fit? We have a lot of really interesting farm fits, right? Because you wear your grubby clothes out on the farm. I mean, Jason's got a pair of pants that has a rip in the side of it. Like, it's like crazy, right? But we were treated differently. And that was a nonverbal cue that we were communicating to the people that were working there. There's another component to this too, and it has to do with frequency. I knew we weren't going to have enough time for it today, but we'll get back to it in the second hour because this is super important and interesting. You're not getting the results that you want because you're stuck in a loop, and it's hard to identify it when you're in it. So stay tuned. You want to hear more. This is Naturally Inspired Radio. We'll be right back.
Are you ready to stay informed and inspired 24/7? Tune in to Naturally Inspired Radio anytime, anywhere. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com, or for the best mobile experience, download the Simple Radio app. Search for Naturally Inspired Radio. Save it to your favorites, and click on the graphic to listen instantly. Catch live broadcasts, revisit past shows, dive into long-form podcast conversations, and discover rare, censored presentations by leading health experts. Plus, explore documentaries uncovering the hidden truths of occult and esoteric history. Stay connected, stay inspired. Naturally Inspired Radio is always at your fingertips. Tune in now. For health questions or comments, text Tammy directly at 720-303-8868. naturallyinspiredradio.com.
Nearly 40% of Americans struggle with a $400 emergency expense. An extra $300 a month can be the difference between stability and financial stress.
Are you feeling the pinch of rising expenses? Imagine what an extra $300, $500, or even $1,000 a month can do for you. Introducing a simple 3-step system designed to help you create a steady income without the overwhelm. Step 1, follow our easy-to-use plan. Step 2, take small, consistent actions. Step 3, stay motivated with weekly coaching designed to keep you on track and moving forward. Whether you're saving for a family vacation, paying down debt, or just looking for breathing room, this system is for you. You don't need special skills, just the desire to make change. Join a growing community of success stories today. Visit simpleincome.info or text 720-764-7448.
Are you ready to take your health to the next level? Join us for the 2025 Naturally Inspired Health Summit, the #1 rated health event in Colorado. Saturday, June 28th, 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. Sunday, June 29th, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. 18 powerhouse speakers, 55 business booths, 25 breakout sessions. Sunday's farmers market with 20 vendors, Saturday evening networking and dance party.
The Naturally Inspired Health Summit was life-changing. The energy, the speakers, and the connections I made were incredible. I left with real, actionable solutions for my health and business.
This event was exactly what I needed. So many inspiring speakers like Dr. Peter McCullough, Dr. Lee Merritt, Dr. Carrie Made, and so many more. Amazing products and a community that truly cares about real health solutions.
High energy, positive community, real solutions for health. Get your tickets now. Want to participate and show your message? Visit naturallyinspiredhealthsummit.com or text 720-764-7448.
Did you know that carbon 60 is 172 times more powerful than vitamin C as an antioxidant? This powerful molecule is scientifically proven to neutralize free radicals, reduce inflammation, and promote optimal energy. How does it work? C60 fights oxidative stress, the root cause of aging and disease, helping your body repair and rejuvenate naturally. It's like giving your cells a protective shield. Here's what our listeners have to say. Mike from Denver says,
C60 and olive oil has been perfect as my daily detox. I feel cleaner, lighter, and more energized every day.
Sarah from Houston says,
The C60 topical spray is incredible. I apply it to sore joints and within minutes, the pain and inflammation starts to fade.
Order now at c60.com or call 720-600-6040. Use coupon code TAMMY, T-A-M-M-Y, for a special discount.
Did you know 80% of beef consumed in the U.S. comes from 4 major corporations, much of it being imported or processed with additives? Want real beef from a real farm? Pumpkin Creek Ranch does things the right way. Local, grass-fed, dry-aged beef with no additives, no shortcuts, just honest quality.
Pumpkin Creek Ranch beef is the real deal. I love knowing exactly where my meat comes from. No additives, no nonsense, just honest quality beef.
Best beef I've ever had. You can taste the difference. Rich, tender, and packed with real flavor. Plus, supporting a local ranch makes it even better.
From pasture to plate, they raise their cattle with care, so you can get rich, natural flavor that only real ranching can provide. Stock your freezer with premium beef you can trust. Visit pumpkincreekranchco.com or call 970-658-0176.
Did you know that medicinal mushrooms are excellent for pets? Take our preferred pet health products for joint health, skin health, antioxidant protection, sow health, anti-aging benefits, gut health, liver support, cholesterol regulation, blood pressure support, brain health, anxiety relief, respiratory health, endurance and strength, anti-fatigue, and much more. Available in easy-to-take treats, great-tasting gravy, and our pet food blends.
Since adding mushroom dog food to my dog's diet, I've noticed a huge improvement in his energy and coat health. He's like a puppy again, even at 10 years old.
After starting my care on mushroom super sauce, her immune health and digestion have noticeably improved. She's more playful, and her fur has never looked shinier.
Learn how to get free shipping and how to join our monthly mushroom call. Text Tammy with questions or to order at 720-303-8868. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com/mushroom. That's naturallyinspiredradio.com/mushroom.
Are you ready to stay informed and inspired 24/7? Tune in to Naturally Inspired Radio anytime, anywhere. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com, or for the best mobile experience, download the Simple Radio app. Search for Naturally Inspired Radio, save it to your favorites, and click on the graphic to listen instantly. Catch live broadcasts, revisit past shows, dive into long-form podcast conversations, and discover rare, censored presentations by leading health experts. Plus, explore documentaries uncovering the hidden truths of occult and esoteric history. Stay connected, stay inspired. Naturally Inspired Radio is always at your fingertips. Tune in now. For health questions or comments, text Tammy directly at 720-303-8868. naturallyinspiredradio.com.
The information and other content provided on this radio show or in any linked materials is provided for informational purposes only, not intended and should not be construed as medical advice. It is not a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment.
I can feel it. My arms are a little shaky from this morning's workout. I did a pretty heavy weightlifting routine this morning, and I'm feeling a little like, whoa, I think my arms are going to feel it. I'm definitely taking some special sauces tonight. That's for sure. Make sure I recover for tomorrow. We're already into the second hour. Thanks so much for joining us. So glad that you are here. I'm so grateful for your audience, for your listenership, and for all that you input into the Naturally Inspired community. We're here to expose what's broken in healthcare, in the healthcare system, connect you to real solutions for health, and to inspire you to take back control of your life. We want you to feel empowered, informed, and free to live naturally without fear, confusion, or dependency. Who knew that that would be so controversial, right? But it is for some reason. Couldn't imagine why. Maybe it has something to do with those corporations that we just talked about, huh? Probably. I want to remind you that we have the reset, the wellness workshop tonight, which is called the Reset Your Cells, Reclaim Your Health, the truth about cellular health. They never told you. That is what we're going to be talking about tonight. And of course, we'll be taking questions and answers as well as we always do. It'll be an open forum, so we'll go through some content and then we'll open it up for Q&A. So tonight's talk, the wellness workshop, will be Reset Your Cells, Reclaim Your Health, the truth about cellular healing. They never told you. Text me for the link. It's on Zoom, 7 o'clock Mountain Time tonight. Text me 720-303-8868. All right. Let's get back to some of I want to finish up with the Naturally Inspired moment. I really think, this is so important. So don't overlook what I'm saying here. Okay. You teach people how to treat you. So if you're not in the relationship that you want to be in, if you're struggling with the same results and you kind of feel like you're stuck on a loop and you don't know what to do, right? You need to take a look at this. You need to take a look at this. How are you teaching people to treat you? What are you teaching them? What are you teaching people about yourself? Okay. It's worth analysis. If you don't have the results you want, I mean, by all means, if you're killing it and everything's great and you're vibing, then just keep doing what you're doing. Right? But if you're stuck, think about this, right? Because we are teaching people how to treat us every day. So let's get into some nonverbal cues. I think I mentioned there's verbal cues, right? You literally express to people, right? There are nonverbal cues. What you wear, right? Just like I told you that story about me and Jason going into that printing place or whatever. Like the guy just clearly judged us right up front, right? But there's also this other component. And I was talking to Jay about this and I was trying to explain it to him so I could articulate it good for you. I'm always trying to work on my language so that I'm a better communicator, so you understand where I'm coming from. But one of the things I think is hard for us is to quantify things like consciousness, quantify the energy we feel coming off of each other. We don't know what to call that. We don't have a name for that, really, that's accepted in the mainstream. But we all know it's there. I think most people believe in intuition, but the name intuition doesn't really, you can't quantify it. You can't say, oh, they're a 10 on the intuition scale. Like she has brown hair, you brown eyes. You can't quantify things like consciousness. You can't quantify things like frequency. And so therefore we have a really hard time communicating about this. But we need to, especially as we move into the digital revolution and we start seeing new ways of life come. Not new life, new ways of living, right? Like new ways to live your new lifestyles coming into our culture. It's very important because this is our specialty as human beings. Our consciousness, our expression, our creativity. How do you quantify that? How do we start talking about that stuff? Because this is what makes us human. And this will be what grounds us in to staying human. So there's a frequency, and this is studied by neuroscientists, okay, that we literally link up our frequency that we are generating from our thoughts. Now, if you don't think this is true, you ever walked into a room where somebody just had a fight? You didn't hear the fight. You have no idea what happened. But you'll walk into a room and you're like, oh, something just went down in here. Right? You have no idea. You have no idea what transpired, but you know something happened. That's what I'm talking about. There is frequency emitted off of us, and we connect to one another on that frequency level. It's like dialing in a radio. Now, some people have no clue that that frequency exists, and so they're completely oblivious. And when you get around them, it's almost a little chaotic because you're not quite sure. You're like, what is happening here, right? There's just a lot of chaos. But when you get around another person that does dial in and you can connect with that frequency, you barely have to speak sometimes. That's when you can finish people's sentences and you know exactly what they're talking about. It's not woo-woo, okay? It's not freaky stuff. It's how we've operated, how we operate that way. That's just part of being human. So when you are, stuck on a thought of, say, let's take the helper, for example. The helper, if the helper is helping all the time, but not getting the reward of being a helper, then that kind of frequency can turn into bitterness. It can turn into resentfulness, right? When you're a child, you get a lot more praise for helping because people don't expect you to help. So when you start helping, oh my gosh, look at this little one. She's such a good helper, right? But as you get older, people don't praise you like that anymore. And so you can still be the helper, but you're not getting any reward from being the helper. So that can shift into bitterness and resentment. And you can get stuck there. Right? And that's the frequency that you're admitting. That's how you're connecting to people. And you may not recognize it because you've been programmed, you've been conditioned to do this since you were a kid. You're just doing what you know in order to survive in the world. But it's not working for you anymore. So the key is awareness, right? The key is awareness. And, Dr. Joe Dispenza talks about this stuff. Dr. Bruce Lipton, who's probably one of my favorites. Greg Braden talks about this stuff. There's another new doctor kind of on the scene that's talking about it. I think his name's Dr. K. There's a lot of people talking about this. It's not woo-woo stuff. It's actually neuroscience, right? It's just that we don't have the language built in to the mainstream to discuss this stuff. It's been labeled woo-woo. It's been labeled kind of kooky. Oh, that's kind of out there because we need stuff to be concrete to be able to comprehend it. And when we don't have concrete communication about something, we tend to write it off and act like it's not real. But I'm telling you, as we move into the digital revolution, we are going to need this skill set. It is going to be the thing that anchors us. So, what am I saying about all of this? Pay attention moving forward. How are you teaching people how to treat you, because you are, whether you want to acknowledge that or not. You're teaching people, and you want to make sure you're teaching them in a way that you get the results you want, right? I think the one thing that comes to mind a lot is people who are looking for partners, right? In the dating world. They want to connect with somebody really bad. But instead of teaching someone how to treat them, they try to serve the other person's needs, and they don't want to do that. That's not who they are. And so they catch the wrong fish with the wrong bait. You got to have the right bait. Stay tuned, everybody. This is Naturally Inspired Radio. We'll be right back.
Have you heard about the powerful health benefits of medicinal mushrooms? Take our preferred medicinal mushrooms for immune support, gut health, antioxidant properties, stress and sleep, heart health, liver protection, blood sugar regulation, cholesterol reduction, anti-cancer properties, cognitive health, mood and mental health, heart health, antibacterial and antiviral, and so much more. Available in easy-to-take capsules, great-tasting gummies, and our special coffee blends.
Since adding these mushrooms to my daily routine, my cholesterol levels have improved, and I feel more confident about my heart health.
Taking one of these blends before bed has been a game changer. I fall asleep faster and I wake up feeling truly refreshed.
Learn how to get free shipping and how to join our monthly mushroom call. Text Tammy with questions or to order 720-303-8868. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com/mushroom.
Did you know that 60% of American adults live with at least one chronic disease? At Inside Health, they take the mystery out of wellness with extensive testing and customized lifestyle plans, all from the comfort of your home.
I've struggled with low energy and digestive issues for years, and no doctor could give me real answers. Working with Inside Health was a game changer.
As a mom, I'm always putting my family's health first, but I was neglecting my own. Inside Health changed that. I started feeling better almost immediately.
Inside Health Services help you and your family achieve whole body health with non-invasive personalized care. They listen to your concerns and health goals. They will pinpoint areas where your body needs support. They will create a simple, actionable plan just for you. Call them today, 970-685-8060, or visit InsideHealth.com.
Did you know that carbon 60 is 172 times more powerful than vitamin C as an antioxidant? This powerful molecule is scientifically proven to neutralize free radicals, reduce inflammation, and promote optimal energy. How does it work? C60 fights oxidative stress, the root cause of aging and disease, helping your body repair and rejuvenate naturally. It's like giving your cells a protective shield. Here's what our listeners have to say. Mike from Denver says,
C60 in olive oil has been perfect as my daily detox. I feel cleaner, lighter, and more energized every day.
Sarah from Houston says,
The C60 topical spray is incredible. I apply it to sore joints, and within minutes, the pain and inflammation starts to fade.
Order now at c60.com or call 720-600-6040. Use coupon code TAMMY, T-A-M-M-Y, for a
Get your free 30-minute health assessment or get your health score at naturallyinspiredstore.com. If you want to book with me, just go to naturallyinspiredstore.com and you can book your assessment. It is a 30-minute assessment. We'll go through, what you're using in your home, what your health and wellness needs are. I have a whole assessment that I've worked up. I think it really gets down to the key points of what you need to shift in order to get the health results that you want. It's a good experience. I've been having a lot of fun with them. I know people are really happy with them. They're enjoying them. The feedback I'm getting is great. So book yours today. Don't be shy. Naturallyinspiredstore.com. Okay, let's, I just want to wrap up. We'll wrap up with the Naturally Inspired moment. Let's move on to the next top story. It just so happens this fits perfectly in, and I didn't even plan it this way. Self-driving cars. Have you seen this? So yeah, we all knew they were coming and stuff like that. Oh, I'm sure, there'll be autonomous driving and all that stuff. We knew it was coming, but like, it's here. It's here. I got a clip for you I want to share. This is Elon in an interview just very recently talking about, and it's with Laura Trump, actually, Laura Trump. And there's one thing I want to point out here. So watch the clip and then we'll talk about it. Here it is. Elon.
Expanded space exploration. What do you think, and what are you going to focus on in the coming years that you think could really revolutionize humanity?
Well, Tesla in a few months will release unsupervised full self-driving. So the cars that people are driving right now, the cars that you can buy from the factory, will be driving around by themselves with no people in them.
Wow.
That's we would call unsupervised full self-driving. So there's literally no one in the car on public roads. We'll start that in Austin in a few months, in June. And then we'll rapidly expand that to the rest of the country. In fact, anyone who has Tesla now, if they try self-driving, it should work very well. It should be rare that you need any intervention. So, in fact, in the future, I think it'll be unusual to see a manually driven car. Wow. It'll be like seeing a horse.
Interesting.
Yeah, there's still horses. In fact, technically, there are more horses now than there were at any time in the past.
But we don't use them for the same means.
But if somebody came to work on a horse and they didn't live on a farm, you'd be like, that's an odd thing to do.
So in the future, it will be strange to see someone actually driving themselves in a car.
Yes.
And what about medically?
And then Tesla's also creating a humanoid robot, Optimus, which I think everyone is going to want. Because it'll be like, who wouldn't want their own personal R2-D2 C-3PO robot buddy? That will help you do anything you want to do. I think that's going to be a massive product. SpaceX is doing rocket launching and Starlink internet, and hopefully we'll build the technology to make life multi-planet.
Deep breath, right? So I just want to remind you first and foremost that these cars, these Teslas and all cars now, not just Teslas, but like all cars are data collection machines. They are collecting data on you. They are recording your trips. They are collecting data. That data gets sent to insurance companies. It gets used whoever wants to pay for that data gets that data. So know that, right? I'm not saying that to make you paranoid. I'm not saying that like, oh, throw out your car. Don't throw out your car, because guess what? They're all like that. And your phone is the biggest data collection device that you have on your person every minute, mostly of every day. Most people have it on them. So you can't do anything about it, right? At this point, our strategy is how to live happy and healthy through the digital revolution. That's the strategy, right? How to keep your sanity, how to thrive and build a path for yourself through the digital revolution that you can thrive in, that you're happy in. That's the goal. So these things are rolling out. The self-driving vehicles are rolling out in Austin, like within maybe, a couple months, maybe even faster than that. The interesting part of that conversation that I caught was that Laura asked him medically, what about medically? And he seemed to kind of shift the subject, right? He shifted the subject to, all the other things that Starlink was doing and the autonomous robot. I mean, don't we all just want an autonomous robot? Like, don't we all just want a robot? I don't want a robot. But here we are, right? This is the reality that we're living in. Everyone will have a robot. And it is interesting, right? I mean, it's hard to wrap your brain around, but like we are living in the craziest of times. And we're here for a reason. We got chosen. And if you're Gen X like me, we got chosen to be the adults at this time. The ones that are like trying to keep everything together. So aren't we special? Aren't we special, right? Because like we're still working in it. We're still working, boomers are starting to retire and stuff. And so like really we have a big role to play in the digital revolution because we have the opportunity to be able to shape it a little bit if we engage in it. Now, there's a great deal of us in Gen X that are like, I don't want anything to do with that. No, don't tell me what to do. But, I get it. But if we take a back seat to it, it's going to steamroll right over us. And we won't have any agency with it at all. So it's important that we engage in it, especially Gen X. And we learn how to use it in our businesses and we learn how to, build a life for ourselves that's happy and whole and healthy. But it doesn't make it any less freaky. And I'm concerned that he jumped over the medical part of it because I know that there are huge advances coming in AI with biotech. And it's interesting to me that he chose not to go down that path, that he went to, because I don't know about you, but I could care less about interplanetary transportation. Like we don't even know what's in the ocean. And we want to go to Mars and start inhabiting Mars, right? Like, to me, I'm like, no, why don't all the people who are interested in interplanet galaxy travel go and leave us Earth? Like, just go for it. I wish you well. Like, just go because I'm cool here. I love this place. Leave us nature and go develop a new colony, colonize Mars, do whatever you got to do. I wish you all the best. Awesome. Great. So that's what we're looking at. There's going to be cars, running around by themselves. And eventually there won't be people driving cars. That's just one of the things that's going to happen very soon. That's just one. Okay. Medically, this is going to be, more of a ethical issue as they start to, grow babies in pods, as they start to manipulate genomes, trying to create the ultimate human. These are things. Eliminate death because they're working on that. They don't want to die. They want to live forever. And they think it's possible with the merger of technology and people and humans. I know. It's like, can you believe this? Can you believe that we got picked for this? Sometimes I'm like, why? Why? If I was just born in the 40s, I might be able to just sit back and not care about this stuff. But no. We're right in the thick of it. It's okay. It's okay. We were meant for this time. I truly believe that. And it's going to be okay if we engage and we understand that our role is to help shape culture, right? The goal really, let's preserve our rights. Let's preserve our rights to say no to some of this biotech stuff. If you want to, great. If you don't want to, great, right? That's the key. You're listening to Naturally Inspired Radio. I'm Tammy Cuthbert Garcia. When we come back, I still have another news story for you and a very important health topic you're not going to want to miss. So stay tuned.
Have you heard about the powerful health benefits of medicinal mushrooms? Take our preferred medicinal mushrooms for immune support, gut health, antioxidant properties, stress and sleep, heart health, liver protection, blood sugar regulation, cholesterol reduction, anti-cancer properties, cognitive health, mood and mental health, heart health, antibacterial and antiviral, and so much more. Available in easy-to-take capsules, great-tasting gummies, and our special coffee blends.
Since adding these mushrooms to my daily routine, my cholesterol levels have improved, and I feel more confident about my heart health.
Taking one of these blends before bed has been a game changer. I fall asleep faster and I wake up feeling truly refreshed.
Learn how to get free shipping and how to join our monthly mushroom call. Text Tammy with questions or to order 720-303-8868. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com/mushroom.
Are you ready to take your health to the next level? Join us for the 2025 Naturally Inspired Health Summit, the #1 rated health event in Colorado. Saturday, June 28th, 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. Sunday, June 29th, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. 18 powerhouse speakers, 55 business booths, 25 breakout sessions, Sunday's farmers market with 20 vendors, Saturday evening networking and dance party.
The Naturally Inspired Health Summit was life-changing. The energy, the speakers, and the connections I made were incredible. I left with real, actionable solutions for my health and business.
This event was exactly what I needed. So many inspiring speakers like Dr. Peter McCullough, Dr. Lee Merritt, Dr. Carrie Made, and so many more. Amazing products and a community that truly cares about real health solutions.
High energy, positive community, real solutions for health. Get your tickets now. Want to participate and show your message? Visit naturallyinspiredhealthsummit.com or text 720-764-7448.
Are you ready to stay informed and inspired 24/7? Tune in to Naturally Inspired Radio anytime, anywhere. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com, or for the best mobile experience, download the Simple Radio app. Search for Naturally Inspired Radio, save it to your favorites, and click on the graphic to listen instantly. Catch live broadcasts, revisit past shows, dive into long-form podcast conversations, and discover rare, censored presentations by leading health experts. Plus, explore documentaries uncovering the hidden truths of occult and esoteric history. Stay connected, stay inspired. Naturally Inspired Radio is always at your fingertips. Tune in now. For health questions or comments, text Tammy directly at 720-303-8868. naturallyinspiredradio.com.
You may have heard I wrote a children's book. It's called Rosa's Happy Homestead. It's to help parents and families reconnect to their children to something so important: nature, farms, and real food. So in a world where many kids are growing up disconnected from where their food comes from, this story brings it back to basics, to the beauty, the balance, and the magic of life on a happy homestead. Through Rosa's journey, children will learn how everything in nature works together, and they'll discover just how important it is to support small farmers, small farms, and natural living. It's a story of connection, curiosity, and care for the land, something every child deserves to experience. You can pre-order your signed hardback copy right now for just $29 at naturallyinspiredradio.com. When you pre-order, you'll instantly get a digital PDF version, so you can show that to your little one today, start piquing curiosity. And once the hardcover books are in, I will be signing them and shipping them to your door. So again, just go to naturallyinspiredradio.com to pre-order Rosa's Happy Homestead today and help inspire a new generation to love and care for the world around them. Okay, here's another news story. Not necessarily a good one, but very important to know. The world's most widely used herbicide, which you can probably guess, is glyphosate. And it's linked to the liver disease epidemic. So maybe you've heard me say over and over again, we have little kids now that have fatty liver disease. Fatty liver disease used to be something we saw in alcoholics, right? Now we're seeing it in children. And that's pretty disturbing. It's not just because they're overweight. Okay. Glyphosate's the world's most widely used herbicide. It may significantly raise the risk of an increasingly common chronic liver disease, even at low exposure levels, according to a new review of more than 40 scientific studies published over the past 17 years. So they have found that a growing body of research links exposure to glyphosate and the commercial herbicides that contain it to negatively to negative health outcomes for metabolic dysfunction associated liver disease, MASLD. So that's really important to understand, because what do I talk about here all the time? All disease starts at the cellular level, right? It's metabolic disease because your cells are not functioning optimally, right? That's where we have to focus. That's true root cause. We talk about root cause. That's root cause, right? Where is the dysfunction coming from? It's on the cellular level. So now it's like, okay, well, what's causing the dysfunction? Well, you are either inhaling it, you're injecting it, you're ingesting it, right? This is how stuff gets inside your body. Absorbing it, right? Your skin is your largest organ. It is porous, and I think we think that it is it's set, it's static. It's a barrier. But we often don't realize how, like, you can touch. I just read this article the other day. There's toxins in receipts, and if you touch a receipt for it takes about 10 seconds for that toxin to penetrate your skin and get into your bloodstream. That's it. Like, this is your barrier, and we think about it only gets penetrated when we're injecting something, but no, it's not the case. So harmful impacts to the liver include inflammation, oxidative stress, and scarring. These are all markers of this MASLD, and this is all according to a published paper from the Environmental Toxicology and Pharmacology. Even small increases in exposure may have significant health impacts over time, especially for people with other risk factors for liver disease, the researchers say. They investigated 3 types of studies: animal, cell, and human. In humans, higher urinary levels of glyphosate are linked to higher risk of fat buildup in the liver scarring, and more liver enzymes in the blood, indicating injury and inflammation. So here are some key findings. People with higher glyphosate levels in their urine also had higher fatty liver index scores. The strongest effects were seen in women aged 40 to 60 with a history of borderline diabetes. Individuals with non-alcoholic hepatitis, a serious type of fatty liver disease, had higher levels of glyphosate and its breakdown product in their bodies than people without the disease. Those with more advanced liver scarring also showed higher levels of glyphosate in their bodies. In a long-term study of childhood exposure, youth with twofold increase between ages 5 and 18 were more likely to develop liver damage and metabolic syndrome at age 18. Children who lived near farms where glyphosate was used also faced a higher risk of developing metabolic problems later in life. So I think it's important to recognize that it isn't just about calorie intake, that it isn't just about fat or skinny. We still live in a diet culture in this country where people think, oh, if you're thin, you're healthy. And that's not always the case. That is not always the case. And so we have to really shift it from diet culture to health culture, right? Shaping health culture. These seed oils that we're putting into our bodies, these are industrialized oils. We're putting this into our bodies. This blocks detox pathways, right? How do we know detox pathways are blocked? We get signs. We get signals coming from the body. We get communication coming from the body, right? If your body is not detoxing with kidneys, liver, we're talking about urination here. We're talking about elimination, right? Pooping. If you are not doing those things, your body's struggling with your detox pathways, it'll push it out through your skin. Because the detox pathways are going, whoa, we're overloaded here. We're overloaded. It's like having this is a gross analogy, but it's like having a backed up toilet, right? And people are still using the toilet. And they're putting glyphosate in the toilet, right? They're putting seed oils in the toilet. They're putting all this stuff in the toilet, medications, toxicity from food. The toilet's backing up, but you're still eating, you're still breathing, you're still maybe injecting, you're still putting the toxins in, and the toilet's freaking overflowing, and the body goes, oh my God, I can't handle this. So starts pushing it out through the skin. And so that's something that we have to look at. So we can't just say, someone's fat. Oh, they're fat because they're eating too much. They could be fat because they're having blocked detox pathways, right? They're at the cellular level. There's metabolic dysfunction. And then, of course, there's always the emotional component too when it comes to detox pathways, right? We have to deal with that. So it's not so cut and dry. And we really have to get out of the mindset that we heal from something outside of ourselves. That's one component of facilitating healing, is making sure we clean up our environment. We're putting good fuel in. We're stopping the toxification. There's a lot of things that we can do outside our body, but if the mind is not right, the emotions are not set right for healing, it's not going to happen. And that's a hard realization for people. But that's why I'm focused so much on the mind-body connection, because you cannot have one without the other. It's impossible. You're a synergistic being. You have to have your mind right. If you are fearful of the signals coming out of your body, good luck healing. You're in cortisol mode, right? This is why people go from doctor to doctor to doctor, from practitioner to practitioner to practitioner. They're not getting, they couldn't help me. This person couldn't help me. That person couldn't help me. They jump around for all these people to help them. And here's the hard truth. You help you. You help you. And I can help you because I come alongside you and I help you discover how to fix yourself. I help you discover it. Let me tell you, no doctor is laying in bed at night worrying about your psoriasis. No doctor, no practitioner is laying in bed worrying about, why you can't lose weight. You're the best qualified to come up with your own solutions because you are laying in bed at night wondering, why is this happening to me? Your practitioner deals with all kinds of people, and they have to worry about themselves as well. This is why the model is take personal responsibility, and you'll find the solutions. I promise. You're listening to Naturally Inspired Radio. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Are you ready to take your health to the next level? Join us for the 2025 Naturally Inspired Health Summit, the #1 rated health event in Colorado. Saturday, June 28th, 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. Sunday, June 29th, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. 18 powerhouse speakers, 55 business booths, 25 breakout sessions, Sunday's farmers market with 20 vendors, Saturday evening networking and dance party.
The Naturally Inspired Health Summit was life-changing. The energy, the speakers, and the connections I made were incredible. I left with real, actionable solutions for my health and business.
This event was exactly what I needed. So many inspiring speakers like Dr. Peter McCullough, Dr. Lee Merritt, Dr. Carrie Made, and so many more. Amazing products and a community that truly cares about real health solutions.
High energy, positive community, real solutions for health. Get your tickets now. Want to participate and show your message? Visit naturallyinspiredhealthsummit.com or text 720-764-7448.
Did you know that medicinal mushrooms are excellent for pets? Take our preferred pet health products for joint health, skin health, antioxidant protection, sow health, anti-aging benefits, gut health, liver support, cholesterol regulation, blood pressure support, brain health, anxiety relief, respiratory health, endurance and strength, anti-fatigue, and much more. Available in easy-to-take treats, great-tasting gravy, and our pet food blends.
Since adding mushroom dog food to my dog's diet, I've noticed a huge improvement in his energy and coat health. He's like a puppy again, even at 10 years old.
After starting my care on Mushroom Super Sauce, her immune health and digestion have noticeably improved. She's more playful, and her fur has never looked shinier.
Learn how to get free shipping and how to join our monthly mushroom call. Text Tammy with questions or to order at 720-303-8868. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com/mushroom. That's naturallyinspiredradio.com/mushroom.
Are you ready to stay informed and inspired 24/7? Tune in to Naturally Inspired Radio anytime, anywhere. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com, or for the best mobile experience, download the Simple Radio app. Search for Naturally Inspired Radio, save it to your favorites, and click on the graphic to listen instantly. Catch live broadcasts, revisit past shows, dive into long-form podcast conversations, and discover rare, censored presentations by leading health experts. Plus, explore documentaries uncovering the hidden truths of occult and esoteric history. Stay connected, stay inspired. Naturally Inspired Radio is always at your fingertips. Tune in now. For health questions or comments, text Tammy directly at 720-303-8868. naturallyinspiredradio.com.
If you're going to join me tonight, tell me so in the chat. I want to know. 7 p.m. Mountain Time, wellness workshop. We're bringing it all together. We're going to do a little education on cellular health. This is going to be important, as I was just talking about. This is the key, right? Understanding what's happened to cause cellular dysfunction, right? Did you inhale it? Did you inject it? Are you, rubbing it on your skin? Are you breathing it in? Are you eating it? What's happening? What's happening, right? So we get the mind right. We set the stage, so to speak, set the stage, because nobody heals you. Only your body heals. You got to set the stage for it to heal, right? So you do a little mind work, you relax the nervous system, and then you start doing the actions. Really, that's what we have to do. So join us tonight. I'll have Jason will be on with me too, because he'll be helping me with admin stuff. So join us tonight. We have fun. We'll have some fun. We'll play some music. We're going to talk about some of these issues, and we'll answer some questions that you have. So if you're going to join me, drop it in the chat. I want to know. Who's going to be there. I'm excited. It's going to be fun. It's going to be really a lot of fun. It always is. I love this stuff. I'm such a dork, but I do. I love it. I just think, I can, it's simple, it's not easy, but it is simple. It's not easy to work through the emotional stuff. It's not easy to recognize that is a component, because we're kind of trained to think that we need something outside ourselves to heal. And you do need to set the stage, but also you got to deal with this other variable too, right? Anyway, I'm excited for tonight. I hope you join me. 720-303-8868. For today's health topic, I want to talk about somatic healing. Okay? I want to talk about this word, actually, somatic. I don't even want to say healing. I just want to talk about the word somatic. Somatic. So I just looked it up. I'm like, I know what it means, but I need everybody else to understand what it means. So here's the definition that it says: of relating to or affecting the body, especially as distinguished from a body part, the mind, or the environment, or physical. That's the first definition. The second one is of or relating to the wall of the body cavity, especially as distinguished from the head, limbs, or viscera. The third definition is of or relating to the portion of the vertebrate nervous system that regulates voluntary movement. And I would say, when I'm talking about somatic, I'm talking about your physical body, right? There has been a designed effort to connect your consciousness from your body. And the reason why there's been a conscious effort is because you are stuck in a medical campaign model, right? It's for products. And so, and procedures and dependency. That's what they need you to be. That's who they need you to be in order for you to continue to feed the system. They need you dependent. They need you to think you need something outside yourself. They need you to not be connected, right? Not be in coherence with your consciousness and your body. So I'm helping people reconnect mind to body when I talk about this stuff, because this is your superpower. So if you haven't been aware of the connection between your mind and your body, and you don't have a practice in place to connect mind to body, then you're likely detached. You're likely detached, okay? Assume you are detached, because they're constantly, look over here, put this, like, here's something to look at, read this, watch that, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's very hard to stay coherent, mind and body, in this modern day world. So we have to actually be mindful about setting time aside to connect mind to body. So for today's health topic, I want to give you strategies on how to do that, how to reconnect mind and body. And again, we don't have the communication necessarily to articulate what this means, but you feel it when you have it. You know when you are connected, mind to body, because you have a sense of groundedness. You have a sense of your certainty. There's certainty in how you operate. You're clear. You have clarity. That's when you have mind and body connected. There's no fear. So here's some strategies rather to reconnect mind to body. 1, spend time focusing on your actual body. So I usually do it in the shower. While I'm showering, I have a wonderful exfoliant now, and it's luxurious. I just love this exfoliant. I'll share it with you. It smells not too overpowering, right? So I was doing my exfoliating, which is very important. We're not taught this either, that we actually need to slough off the skin cells on our body, right? Not just soap, but with something, like an exfoliant. And so as I was doing that, I'm just rubbing my hand, rubbing up my arm, and just being mindful of my body. And I do this every day because it connects the mind to body. Instead of jumping in the shower, lathering up, I gotta go, right? That's designed to detach you from your mind, detach you from that coherence. So that's one way, one strategy you can practice every day. Just take a couple more minutes, right? And be mindful. Look at all your fingers. Look at the palms of your hands. Look at your arms, right? Be mindful of this body. Second, sit quietly. Make time for no inputs. And when I'm talking about inputs, I'm talking about, drinking a cup of coffee, watching your screen, scrolling, doing stuff, reading, all input. There's screens on the gas station. I was telling someone this morning, there's screens on the gas station now when we pump gas. They're constantly, pining for your attention, and it's input. You must build in time to not have any inputs. That just calms the body. Listen to your breath for a couple of minutes. At first it can be hard to do this because you're so used to having inputs that you get a little uncomfortable, with no inputs. That's a sign that you need to develop the ability to sit in silence. Your body needs the rest. No input, right? No screen, close your eyes. Close your eyes and allow yourself that time. That's one way. Another way to reconnect mind to body. Another one is practicing scanning your body from toes all the way up to your head. I do this when I lay down at night. I started doing this when I was a kid. I don't know why. I must have been a weird kid. When I couldn't fall asleep as a kid, I used to go through this practice, and I was little. I don't know why I started doing this. But I would say, didn't want to go to bed. It was too, if the light's out, if the sun was still up, I hated going to bed. And in Vancouver, on Vancouver Island, like we had to go to bed at like 9. Sometimes it was still really light out, close the curtains. I hated it. So I would just like want to fall asleep so that I didn't have to sit there and suffer. Right? And so I started telling like, my toes to fall asleep, and then my feet to fall asleep, and then my ankles to fall asleep, and then my legs to fall asleep. And I would scan my whole body. It was just like something that I developed, a coping mechanism. And what I realized is that this actually connected my mind to my body. And so I still do that today. Practice scanning your body from the toes all the way up to your head. And you think, this is ridiculous. Why would I do this? I'm telling you, in this digital revolution, you are going to need this connection more than ever. And you have it in you. You just haven't been exercising it for a very long time. But it's time to start exercising it. So scanning your body is another way to connect mind to body. Belly breath. We're all breathing up here all the time, right? Why wouldn't we? We have all these inputs. It's always more, bigger, better, faster. Like we're breathing so shallow. Be conscious and start trying to take breaths from your abdomen, right? Really big belly breaths. This also connects mind to body. Okay. And then the last one I want to focus on is getting your hands on your body. I know how that sounds. When I wrote it, I thought, oh my God, this is just setting myself up here. But no, really, get into your abdomen, get into your legs, and just connect mindfully. I see you. I hear you. I hear the communication coming. What do you want? What do you need? You've been listening to Naturally Inspired Radio. I'm Tammy Cuthbert Garcia. I'm so glad you joined me today. Be back tomorrow at 3.
Are you ready to stay informed and inspired 24/7? Tune in to Naturally Inspired Radio anytime, anywhere. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com, or for the best mobile experience, download the Simple Radio app. Search for Naturally Inspired Radio, save it to your favorites, and click on the graphic to listen instantly. Catch live broadcasts, revisit past shows, dive into long-form podcast conversations, and discover rare, censored presentations by leading health experts. Plus, explore documentaries uncovering the hidden truths of occult and esoteric history. Stay connected, stay inspired. Naturally Inspired Radio is always at your fingertips. Tune in now. For health questions or comments, text Tammy directly at 720-303-8868. naturallyinspiredradio.com.
Nearly 40% of Americans struggle with a $400 emergency expense. An extra $300 a month can be the difference between stability and financial stress.
Are you feeling the pinch of rising expenses? Imagine what an extra $300, $500, or even $1,000 a month can do for you. Introducing a simple 3-step system designed to help you create a steady income without the overwhelm. Step 1, follow our easy-to-use plan. Step 2, take small, consistent actions. Step 3, stay motivated with weekly coaching designed to keep you on track and moving forward. Whether you're saving for a family vacation, paying down debt, or just looking for breathing room, this system is for you. You don't need special skills, just the desire to make change. Join a growing community of success stories today. Visit simpleincome.info or text 720-764-7448.